Alright guys, in this video we are talking about the long rumored Silent Hill PlayStation 5 reboot. Unfortunately, we still don't have any official information on Silent Hill itself. However, something did come out that may give us the next best thing. This is official information we're going to be talking about, and I think it's good news. I think a lot of people are going to be very happy to hear this, but it certainly does call into question as to whether or not Silent Hill is actually a real thing. And so I want to get into a deeper discussion regarding that, but first I want to convey the good news to you guys, because in a way, we are going to get, I guess you could say, a spiritual successor to Silent Hill, and it will most likely release on the PS5 at some point this generation. So it says here, Boca Game Studio was founded in August by Kichiro Toyama, Kazunobu Sato, and Junya Okura. Since then, they've been hard at work on a new game that's aiming for release in 2023. In an interview with IGN Japan, Toyama explained how his experience with well-known horror franchises will be coming in handy as the game is shaping up to be a horror-themed action-adventure. Toyama previously created the Silent Hill and Gravity Rush franchises. He also worked on the Siren franchise alongside Sato and Okura at SIE Japan Studio. The horror-oriented game will appeal to fans of Toyama's previous works, as he had a desire to continue to create titles with strong originality that we have been doing for a long time. However, the game will be a broader entertainment experience rather than a hardcore horror game, including a worldview, battles, and action-adventure story elements. The title is being created by a large team of people of mostly veterans. Toyama is creative director, while Sato is producer and Okura is the game director. Due to the young age of the studio, the game is in the very early stages of development. Sato said, "We're just entering prototype development, and development will probably take nearly 3 years. Production is due to ramp up next year, but it will be at least 2023 before the game is released." Whatever Boca's new game turns out to be, they're developing primarily for PC first, while also aiming to get the game on as many consoles as possible. After being restricted by console exclusivity at SIE Japan, the team wants to move away from this. Once the game is released, the team is already thinking of producing something derived from the game in the future. Whether that's a sequel or some other type of media, only time will tell. At least we know that if the rumors of a new Silent Hill title are true, it won't be coming from Toyama and his team. So in a way, this is an official update to the Silent Hill rumor. And that update, maybe not such a great one, is that if it is in fact real, we know it's not going to be coming, as it says here, from the original creator. And so hopefully you guys can see where the good news is here, is that even if Silent Hill, the reboot that has been heavily rumored all throughout this year, turns out to not actually be a thing, at least we have this. And this is the closest thing we're going to get to Silent Hill. I'm all about horror games. I do like action adventure games. So the idea that, this team is forming and this is something that they're going to be creating, it seems like the only real difference is they're saying it's not going to be a hardcore horror themed game. It's going to be more of a hybrid. I think that sounds very appealing, and I think it sounds very exciting, and I do suspect it will certainly release on the PS5. But we do have to shift gears, and we have to ask the question, well, where does this leave the Silent Hill PlayStation 5 exclusive reboot? Well, we know that this team that just formed, these are individuals who were working at SIE Japan Studio, and they left somewhat abruptly, and we really don't know why. They're just simply saying that they've had a desire to just do their own thing, and that could be the only reason. It doesn't mean that whatever they were working on at SIE Japan is in trouble or got canceled. However, we do have to understand that this could very well be a possibility. If they were working on a Silent Hill reboot, there's a chance, considering it's Konami we are talking about, that they pulled the plug on it. And they just decided, you know what? We're done. We're going to go do our own thing, so that way it won't be canceled. What's very interesting is I came across this tweet from an individual on Twitter, Masahiro Ito, and this individual worked on Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. He did the art direction and the creature and environment design. So he's very, much involved with Silent Hill. Back in January of this year, January 4th, 2020, he put out a tweet and he said, "I'm working on a title as a core member. I hope the title won't be canceled. About that, I can't tell you nothing. I can tell you nothing yet. So he's letting us know that he obviously can't reveal what this is that he's working on, but make no mistake, this individual was 100% alluding to Silent Hill because of the PT cancellation, or the Silent Hills cancellation. He says, I hope the title won't be canceled. In other words, he's hoping that this title he's working on as a core member, most likely the long rumored Silent Hill reboot, doesn't get canceled. Now, considering what we just saw, where we saw multiple individuals basically leave SIE Japan, which is the studio that's supposed to be working on this title, does that mean it may have been canceled if it was even real? Well, if we do entertain the notion that this game was real and was in development, I will at the very least say that it doesn't bode well for the rumor. And so ultimately what I want to kind of get at here, guys, just to kind of clear things up. First of all, if you're somebody that, you're going to believe that Silent Hill is real no matter what, then you're free to believe that. I just want to make it clear that based off of everything that I have been seeing and hearing up until this point, I'm going to say that I no longer believe Silent Hill is real. As depressing as that may sound, as disappointing as that may sound, but I feel like this is a good thing to establish going into next year, which is why I wanted to make this video, because not only are we getting what seems to be something close, I don't know if we can call it a spiritual successor, but at least something from the original Silent Hill creator that will be horror themed. We will be getting that. We're just going to have to wait some time for it, so that's good. But I don't want to continue to talk about this going into next year, simply because a lot of people were very disappointed when Silent Hill didn't show up at the Game Awards, or just hasn't been revealed this year, wasn't revealed this year. And that's understandable, because this is a rumor that I really latched onto because it was one that I got very excited about. But this is the downside to rumors, obviously, and listening to supposed insiders, is that there's a very good chance you will be burned by it, because you have to just take people's word for it. And so at this point, I want to let everybody know that I don't think Silent Hill is a real thing that's in development. And unfortunately, if it was in development, I think there's a pretty decent chance that either A, it just flat out got canceled and Konami pulled the plug on it for whatever reason, because it's Konami and they've been known to do these types of things, or B, there's just a lot of development issues and it might not be the game that we hoped it would be, because I'm not sure why the original creator would abruptly leave. Although I do want to add in C here, because this could be the other side. Maybe development is going really smoothly if it is in fact real, and everything's going to be fine, and the original creator felt comfortable leaving as well with these other team members because they feel as though it's in good hands and they are not worried about it. They basically help get it off the ground and, create the vision, get things started, and then just kind of leave the rest to everybody else to close out and bring it on home. That's also a possibility. We cannot assume to know everything. We do have to, kind of keep all possibilities in mind. But if you just want the facts are this: Silent Hill has not been announced. Silent Hill does not have anything right now going on in an official capacity when it comes to a new proper title. We know that the original creator is now working on his own horror-themed game that is shooting for 2023 alongside other talent that recently departed SIE Japan. Those are the facts. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I know it wasn't the most exciting video, and I know that it's hard not to see this as disappointing, but hopefully you guys can appreciate it, because the thing about going into 2021 is it's looking like it's going to be a great year for gaming, but it looks like it's going to be a great year for PlayStation 5 specifically. And so whether or not Silent Hill ends up being a real thing, I don't think that we should let that detract from our excitement going forward. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.